Okay, so this is my new lockdown hobby, making liquor, spirits. It's been a bit of fun. I'm actually really surprised at how it's all come out, given that I've never done it before. But, the internet's a wonderful thing. So I've done 2 big ferments and run them through my little airstill. Just to practice, just to play around with the flavours and stuff. So yeah, I got my flagon full of, I start off with this. This is about 75, third strip, 75%. I'll probably see if I might strip it again. Just as the more you strip it, the more it becomes, more pure. So, and then I get these, various different things like these coils that are oak, charred oak spirals. Get them from the distilling shops. And I've got some manuka from our tree out the back, tea tree, that I dried for a few months, actually 6 months or so. And then I soak them in this. Is a cinnamon Jack Daniels blend, spiced sort of flavour. So yeah, that one there's the Jack Daniels cinnamon. Not much left, it seems to soak up quite a bit. And this is port. Came in these bottles. I got them because of the bottles, are pretty cool. So yeah, I had these 2 different flavours that I wanted to try. So I put the liquor in my little bottles or my jars, and I let them soak. And after a few months, they come out really good. This was my first whiskey. I did it. It came out really well. I thought it was amazing. 60% I've cut it down to. And that with this is the same. I'm trying to reproduce the same thing. I'm hoping that it ends up being the same flavour, which means I can reproduce it at will, which is what I want. So that's port oak, charred oak spiral. And this one's April, beginning of the month. So already after 2.5 weeks, it's that colour and the flavour's there. This one's done in March. This is my very first go at it. And this one is the vodka. It's kind of come out like vodka. I thought it would come out like a bourbon. I used the manuka that had been soaked in the spiced bourbon. So I was expecting it to come out a bit sort of bourbon-y, but it's actually come out like a spiced vodka, and I've left it at 83% because of that. I don't know, I might cut it down. I haven't really decided yet. I'm working through the flavours of it. I really need other people to try it, but with lockdown it's a bit difficult. My palate might be munted after sampling all these as I go. This one. Okay, so that's the vodka. That's the scotch. This one here is another scotch. Now, I wasn't sure how this would turn out either. And with this one, I just use these. I get these from Mitre 10. They're like Jack Daniels wood chips in a bag that you use on a smoker for smoking food. And I just put them straight in. And it's come out sort of more paler and a bit crisper tasting, or obviously the port flavours this in a specific way, but just the plain wood chips by themselves. There's a little bit of charring on these pieces from the inside of the actual barrel from the when it was a Jack Daniels distillery barrel, but so I picked those pieces out because they have a little bit of char on them. And I've set that at about 50%. That's really nice. I don't really want to cut that down any more than that. This one here, you definitely only want a little tiny bit in your glass. Yeah, mix it with a bit of, I don't know, whatever, you know. Yeah, so in this one, what do we got? Yeah, it's the same thing. I'm trying to reproduce it. Yeah, this one. I'm not sure what the ABV, I should have measured it probably before I started aging, but it should be about 75, something like that. And that one, it's got the Manuka in it as well, but that one's been soaking in the port. So I'm expecting that to be a bit different. Not sure how that'll come out, but I'm picking it'll be some sort of vodka flavour liquor, basically. And yeah, there's my starting point. I've got a flagon. Not sure what I'll do, I'll just let that sit for a bit first. And this is my still that I've been using. It's real simple. I modified this water distiller. There's a little hole in the coil at the top. As it comes out of the reservoir, there's a little tiny breather hole. I don't know what it's for, but I discovered that it's just the right size to poke a thermometer down into it. So I kind of gauge what I'm doing based on what temps it's sitting at. And I basically collect everything that comes out through the activated charcoal until I get to 90 degrees, and from there it's down to about 60%, and then it heads into tails pretty quickly after that. So after 90% I collect in a separate jar for tails, which I keep in my bottom thing there. There's a whole bunch of them. And collect up to 99 degrees on that, and then pretty much that finishes it. Then I run them through as first strips with the next run of ferment that run of wash that I do. I just run them back through. So this is my third stripping run for this particular batch, and it'll be finishing at about 75%, something like that. As you can see, it's running out constantly, so it's not quite as good as but I don't know, because it's coming out pretty hot, around 50 degrees. I'm kind of considering putting a few holes along here, and each time I do a stripping run, a little bit more methane will be drawn out through the holes because it's coming out of there at about 60 degrees. And as it runs down the coil, it slightly cools, but I think if I put some small holes as breathers through here, I think a lot of the methane will naturally evaporate. Yeah, I'm just playing around. I'm just seeing what I can accomplish with it. But I'm noticing that there's not that much methane by the time I'm into my third or fourth strip. Using the system, and it takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours to run 4 litres through there. It's not too much drama. I just sit down and watch TV and run it. Anyway, fun.